With the NBA preseason already underway, the regular season isn't too far behind. I'm joined by our NBA experts Thomas and Bennett to preview the upcoming NBA season. So you guys are going to give me your predictions on which teams will win their respective conferences and also some other possible teams to watch out for. Starting with Bennett, who's your Eastern Conference winner?
All right, so this year, the Eastern Conference, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers have the best shot at taking home the title. Anytime you add two of the top 10 players in the league to an already, decent team, I think you're going to have a really good chance of winning. And I really like some of the moves they've made. They've added, Kevin Love and to the team that they already had, and I think a key guy to watch out for this year is Dion Waiters, who's a guy who every time you have LeBron James on a team, three-point shooting is a key. And Dion Waiters is a guy who was shooting over 40% from the corner last year. So I'd look for him to really make an excel and make a new step forward this year.
I just don't see Cleveland, they need this year to mesh together, just like the big three in Miami. It's going to take some time to get together with one another. You got three big stars right now. A lot of superstars clashed the first year. So my choice is going to be the Bulls, Chicago Bulls. Got a lot of new additions this year. They've got a healthy Derrick Rose. Averaged 16 points last year in the 10 games he played. Showed signs of his old self in the FIBA World Cup. They got Mirotic, and they also got Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol is one of the most consistent power forward center combos. Averages about 18 and 9 in the past 6 seasons. Great player. Mirotic coming out of Spain, I believe. Spain. Great player. Okay, he's very fast. Shoots about 46% from the field.
See, I really like the Bulls. I think those are definitely going to be the two teams to watch out for in the Eastern Conference Finals. But I really like the moves that the Cleveland made. They've added a lot of veteran talent with Ray Allen and Mike Miller. So I think they're a team to watch out for.
Yeah, well, I mean, the East is pretty wide open this year. We can all agree. And so who would your pick be to rise up from this jumble that is in the Eastern Conference?
I'm going to say Toronto Raptors. Placed third last year overall. They've got all-star now in DeMar DeRozan. He's awesome. Averaged about 23 points a game last season. Got Kyle Lowry. He's a stellar point guard coming up now. Assisting him the ball, he'll do great. They just need someone else to score for a third option. I'm thinking Jonas Valanciunas. Averaged about 10, 8 rebounds last year. If he can pick up those numbers, they'll be a solid team to look for.
They're a good team last year. I like the Washington Wizards a lot this year. I think they have a really strong backcourt with John Wall, who I think is going to be a superstar come this upcoming season, and Bradley Beal, who was a 20-point-a-game scorer last year. I think he's ready to make a big step. I think they have a really strong front court, too. They got Nene, and they got Marcin Gortat, who's a double-double guy last year. They just signed him to a big contract. The key for me for them is going to be at the small forward position. They signed Paul Pierce. We know he's aging a little bit, but one guy to look out for is Otto Porter Jr. He's had a rough couple of years in the league, but I think if he's going to understudy Paul Pierce. Hopefully he can learn a lot from him and make a big step this year.
I don't see Otto doing much for the team, considering they don't play him a lot. He only averaged about 6 minutes a game last season. So I'm thinking if they give him more playing time, he could definitely make a difference. I think they're going to miss Trevor Ariza. He was big on defense for them. He could cover that small forward position very well. But, it's a long season.
Well, guys, it's hard to call any team in the East a dark horse at this point because they're all pretty even. But we're going to move on to the Western Conference now. Who wins the Western Conference?
Oklahoma City Thunder. They will win. I'm thinking it's their year. Kevin Durant, he's Kevin Durant. Amazing season last season. He's still going to do the same things this year. Probably won't repeat the same production, but like I said, he's KD. You got Russell Westbrook, his sidekick, backing him up. He averaged about 22 points and 7 assists last season in only half the games played. And by the way, he had 3 triple-doubles in the postseason. He's a beast. Then I just think they need a third option. If Serge Ibaka or Jeremy Lamb can pick up the scoring, they'll be unstoppable.
So I think it's a little bit of a boring pick, but I think the San Antonio Spurs are looking to make it 3 in a row in the Western Conference. I just don't really see a team as loaded as the Western Conference is that can beat them in 7 games in a really defensive, competitive playoff environment. They got Tim Duncan come back for his 18th season. He's 38 years old, but I think that they have such a good supporting cast of players. They got all these international players. They got Boris Diaw, Patty Mills, Tiago Splitter, guys who could fill in and do a really good job playing a different brand of basketball than the brand a lot of teams in the NBA are used to. And for Kawhi Leonard, the NBA Finals MVP, played fantastic in that series last year against the Heat. If he can keep up that production for the whole year, and especially once they get into the playoffs, I think they're going to be a really tough team to beat.
Well, you were saying that you didn't think anyone could beat the Spurs in a 7-game series. but who would be your dark horse to maybe upset the Spurs from the Western Conference?
My dark horse is a team that did not make the playoffs last year. I think the Phoenix Suns are a team that could really make a jump forward this year and make the playoffs. They had the coach of the year last year in Jeff Hornacek, and they had the most improved player, point guard Goran Dragic. And they have, in my opinion, one of the deepest backcourts in the NBA. They got Goran Dragic, they got Eric Bledsoe, who played really well for them last year, and they just added Isaiah Thomas, and they just drafted the rookie out of Syracuse, Tyler Ennis. All four are like really good guys. I think they're going to play really well together. And Hornacek has this running this high-tempo pick-and-roll offense. And they got some guys who are very effective at running the pick-and-roll. They got the Morris twins, and they got Miles Plumlee. And I think those guys are really going to keep doing what they're doing. They got another year of experience under their belt. They're all growing together, and they're playing a really attacking breed of basketball that I think is going to do well.
Only problem I see with Phoenix is great on offense, top 10 offense, but bottom 10 defense. They let teams score so much on them. Emeka Okafor is a big pickup for them, but it's not going to change that much. So my dark horse is going to be the Dallas Mavericks. They've got, pretty much a new team. They got Tyson Chandler back, just picked up Chandler Parsons, stellar shooter out of Houston, averaged about 46% from the field total, 16 points a game. He's awesome. And then, like I said, Tyson Chandler is going to help on defense. They needed some more rebounds. They bottom 5 in the NBA last season. But I think if they can get it all together, they need this year to mesh a bit, but I think they can make it far in the playoffs.
I'm really high on the Mavericks. I'm high on the Mavericks, but I'm also high on Goran Dragic, the heir to Steve Nash. So, that's a tough pick. Anyway, that is all the time we have. But if you missed anything from today's show or want to watch it again, check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/1on1sports. Also, don't forget to like our Facebook page and give us a follow on Twitter at 1on1sports. For all the producers and crew, thank you for watching. And until next time, whose side are you on?